We go to the
Oh,
Alps
great.
and we get to put
Mm.
on Alix Friedberg as our brilliant costume designer, and she found some real vintage pieces and then created some, and they're some of my favorite looks of the season. But it's hard to pick because really Alix does such an incredible job with when I'm talking about myself and Evelyn's looks. All of them just make me feel divine, and the hair is just a masterpiece, and the makeup, it all goes together to be just create Evelyn, and I barely have to do anything.
I came to Alix and I was like, we have to have her evolve from Dinah to evolve from last season. And I was watching, I don't know, because I knew this season was about her finding sort of her own wealth without a man and her own money and what that looked like. And I'm always have been obsessed with Sharon Stone in Casino, but something about watching that movie, I thought, can we steal a little bit of the look of that? And so we did.
What if we approach Douglas where he's always been dressed by women in his life? He's always been dressed by someone else. He's never shopped. He didn't even somebody just put clothes in front of him in the morning, like I do with my son in real life. And for the first time, Mitzi's character is not doing that. So he only has 3 hole filled, Hawaiian shirts and some stuff from like his closet, and he's living out of a bag. He's almost homeless at this point. It was so much fun to create.
Then season 2, getting a full makeover and getting to wear the gowns and a lot of these like Bob Mackie inspired gowns, and Alix's references are so well thought out and so specific, and I love that whole world. I love fashion so much. So, as Mitzi's finding her womanhood and her power, uh, having that be so informed by the way that she is dressing, even the way the frocks that she's going to bed in, and it's like this attention to detail that Alix has that as an actor you just dream of, or you can only dream of, and it's true on our set. I grew up watching Audrey Hepburn movies, and so many of those performances are highlighted by the clothes, by the costumes, by these like really iconic moments that Audrey was creating with Hubert de Givenchy. Like, it was so special and such a part of that time in cinema for her. And it feels like that with Alix. Absolutely. Because of her attention to detail, the custom, the looks are so iconic. Like, sometimes Kristen will walk in something and it brings tears to my eyes.
Well, at this point, all of our women have a particular palette, and that didn't change too much from season 1 to season 2. We tried to sort of get Maxine to pivot a little bit. We toyed with the idea of her kind of going into a more normal palette as she sort of takes over the normal role in Palm Beach, as she sort of gains more and more power. But it didn't feel right. Maxine's color palette is so distinctive and sets her apart from all the other women, so that when they're all together, you sort of know who's going to be in jewel tones and who's going to be in the pastels and who's going to be just in those sort of pale peaches. And so each woman has their own story. Dinah wears a few original Oscar de la Renta pieces that are really so perfect. I think Bill Blass was a big one. Oleg Cassini. There's a dress that Evelyn wears inside Grayman's that's this all emerald green jersey. It's an original Halston, and it's so stunning on her, and it really does sort of evoke what's to come in the 70s. Yeah, they do wear quite a bit of designer vintage. I think we're really lucky that that there are so many people out there, so many vendors out there that take such good care of those pieces. Just thinking of Evelyn's character, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. There's so many times when she's so stoic and dry and deadpan, and she's delivering this dialogue, these lines with like 7 wigs on top of her head. And just it's so absurd. The absurdity comes out really in how these women present themselves time and time and time again. Carol's turbans started out just as a practical thing for her, just to get ready quicker, just to save her time in the hair and makeup chair. And the first time she put it on, we were both like, oh, that's really so fabulous. And every time she came out as Norma without the turban, I really missed it. And I said something to her offhand one day, and she said, honey, I will wear those every single time if you want me to. And I just kind of said, yeah, I kind of do. And each time we built her a dress, we always had to sort of think about what the caftan or the turban would be. And then it started to switch, and we started designing the turbans before the dress.